Hey, check this out, man. As someone who believes in Jesus Christ, um, I am a very firm believer in showing the love of Jesus Christ to those who are lost in darkness. Okay? But let me tell you something. Love does not mean tolerant. Okay? Um, and I noticed that when you're a Christian who choose to stand firm on the gospel, you know, um, one thing about me, like if I'm having a conversation with a non-believer, and one thing about me, I know most Christians, they go out and, yes, I do my evangelizing, but I don't go up and talk to people personally. I just go stay on the street corner and hold my Jesus flag. But one thing, if I'm having a conversation with a non-believer or whatever, I'm not going to force my belief. I don't, I know most Christians, and they'll go and talk to non-believers about the gospel or whatever, maybe that's their calling, I respect that. But one thing about me, that's not what I do. I don't go and talk to people personally. I don't go to people I don't actually go to people and talk to them directly about Jesus. I don't. You know, maybe I should, but I don't do that. You know, but I know, I got a couple of friends who are non-believers, believe it or not. A lot of people think I'm a very intolerant person. No, I got a couple of friends. My roommate is a non-believer. He's one of them, you know what I'm saying? But let me tell you something, just because I don't tolerate your beliefs does not mean I don't tolerate you. Okay, I just don't tolerate what you believe in. Okay, I do not have to tolerate. Listen, I do not believe in the Quran. Okay, so that don't get mad at me if I choose not to tolerate that. Okay, but I will tolerate you as the person. You want to know why? Because it is my job and it is my duty to love you, okay, as Jesus Christ would love you. But just because I choose not to accept your belief system, whether it's Islam or Buddhism or Hinduism or anything that's contrary to what the Bible says, listen, this is the thing that amazes me with a lot of non-believers. They always talk about all this love and tolerance, but then they're not willing to be tolerant towards us as Christians, this is the hypocrisy of these non-believers. They sit up here and talk about how we're so non-tolerant, or whatever. Which we should not tolerate. We should not tolerate the belief systems. But yeah, we should tolerate the people. We should love them. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you something. I do not have to tolerate your belief system if I don't want to. You want to know why? Because I don't believe in it. Just like you're not going to tolerate what I believe in. Why? Because you don't believe in it. Okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to expect a Muslim, someone who doesn't believe in the Bible, someone who believes in the Quran, to tolerate the Bible. You want to know why? Because he doesn't believe in it, And just like I'm not going to tolerate the Quran, I'm not going to tolerate the Quran because I don't believe in the Quran, But this is the amazing thing about these non-believers, these people who are not Christians. They'll sit up here and tell us that we need to be tolerant, okay, and we need to accept other people's beliefs, but they're not willing to accept our beliefs. And when they say that when they sit up here and tell us that we need to be tolerant, then guess what? What they be doing is they try to get you to bow down to what they believe in. You know what I'm saying? And no, that's not what I'm going to do. And that's not none of us as Christians, none of us as true followers of Jesus Christ should bow down to anything that's outside of the gospel. No, we need to stand firm in the gospel. Now, yes, we're called to love people. We're called to love people as Jesus loved them. But at the same time, listen, I'm sorry. The gospel, John chapter 14, verse 6 says that he said, I am the way. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and that no man comes to the Father except to the Son. Okay? So, I'm not about to sit up here and listen to somebody tell me that all paths lead to God and that we all worship the same God. No, I'm sorry. My Bible doesn't teach that. Jesus said, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. So and here's the thing. I don't go out trying to beat that in somebody's head. Okay. But if you come to me and ask me, what do I believe in? And if you ask me if I believe that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, okay, and I tell you that I do, and you get upset with my answer, then why would you even ask me? Okay? Because I noticed that a lot of these people, one thing I won't do is I will not debate with nobody. Okay? I don't debate with people. I do not do that debating stuff. But I noticed that a lot of these people that are non-believers, they don't really now don't get it wrong. It's one thing if you're a person who has if you have sincere questions, okay? If you have sincere questions, I'm all about asking. I'm sorry. I'm all about answering questions, okay? But I notice a lot of these people they don't ask questions out of sincerity. They do it because they want to open up a debate. They want to start a conference. They'll say they want to. They'll tell you that they don't want to debate, but guess what? It ends up turning into a debate. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible tells us that we're not supposed to debate. The Bible tells us that we got to shake the dust off our feet and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit up here and debate with you. If you don't believe what I believe in, then I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to keep it moving. And this is my thing when it comes to non-believers, okay? When it comes to people who are not Christians. You are so confident that Jesus is not real or that Jesus is not the only way. But yet you're willing to put all your energy and coming into a Christian gathering and sitting up here trying to debate with us about why Jesus is not real. If you feel that Jesus Christ is not real, then why you feel the need to come to us and convince us that? I don't feel the need to sit up here and debate with somebody that Jesus is real. Why? Because I am very firm. I know that he's real. You know what I'm saying? But apparently these people have some type of guilty conscience, some type of conviction, because if they didn't have no type of conviction, then they wouldn't feel the need to sit up here and want to debate with you all the time. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something, that right there is a spirit. That's a demon. That's a demonic spirit. That's a spirit of confrontation, and that's a spirit of discord. That's why I don't when people when non-believers come at me trying to debate and all that type, I don't give it no thought. I don't give it a second. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nope, we're not doing this. We're not going to do this, okay? So yeah.